What's up, folks? David here, TexasHornsFans.com. All right, let's do Texas 58, Rice 0 shutout. Texas moves to 2-1 as they close out the non-conference play and prepare for the TTs Saturday. I think this game is, a lot of people are saying, hey, it's just Rice, and that's mostly true. Rice isn't a horrific, embarrassing football team. Remember, they were 17-17 against Arkansas after the third quarter, and then Arkansas rushed up 21 points on them in the fourth quarter. So, and you could say, well, yeah, Arkansas wasn't up for playing Rice, whatever. That sometimes you want to see things from your team no matter who they're playing. Consistency, confidence in the play calling, everyone being on their assignments, few penalties, and then production deep in the depth chart. This game had all that. Okay, so it's a good bounce back game to just kind of, a good buffer before Big 12 starts. It's a good time to switch to Casey at starting quarterback. You certainly don't want to make the decision to go with Casey, for the first time heading into the Oklahoma game. So it was a good time for a 58-0 win. The big things that stood out to me in this game, I think Texas had like 2 penalties for, 12, 15 yards, something like that. 3 running backs had more than 100 yards rushing. 4 running backs scored touchdowns. No, I'll take that back. Keelan Robinson had 83 yards rushing. But looking at the stats, since we just mentioned running backs, Bijan, 13 carries, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns, 9.8 yards per carry. Bijan, Roshan, and Keelan all had long touchdown runs, which was cool to see. Roshan, he needed only 3 carries for 112 yards and a touchdown. 70 yard, he had a 70-yard touchdown, so 70 of those 112 came on one play. Keelan Robinson, 5 carries, 83 yards and a touchdown, and again, he had a touchdown run where he just turned on another gear. We'll look at some of those here in a minute. And then we saw the true freshman Jonathan Brooks get in the game, 63 yards, averaged 7 yards a carry, and he had himself a touchdown. Xavier Worthy was the leading receiver with 7 catches, 88 yards, and that touchdown in the front corner of the end zone, which was a good pass by Casey. Tight end Jared Wiley was the second leading receiver, 3 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown. And, obviously there weren't a whole lot of passes in this game anyway, so you weren't going to have the volume of receiver production anyway. And what I think I'm kind of seeing with this team in this passing game is that it's not going to surprise me if there's a different leading receiver almost every game. In game 1 it was Whittington, and then this game Xavier Worthy was without question the top receiver. Against Tech, it might be Joshua Moore. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the game plan heading in, is who is going to kind of be the number one option to get the ball to. Yeah, Casey threw 18 passes. He finished 15 of 18, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 to Worthy, 1 to Wiley. And then he had that 1 interception that he threw when let it go right when he was getting hit. Maybe could have sidestepped that a bit because Worthy was pretty well open, and he was trying to hit Worthy, if I remember right, on a post. and Worthy had more than a few steps on his guy. So, maybe Casey could have sidestepped that a bit, but overall, a great first start by Casey, who hasn't played a full, meaningful football game in 4 years. So that was kind of a big storyline too. Defensively, we saw big plays by some new guys. DJ Harris, Byron Murphy had a sack. He looks like an absolute monster. Ovie Ogofu, the transfer from Notre Dame, had another good game. Man, I would probably say he's probably the most surprising player on the team for me so far after 3 games, just in terms of expectations, for each player heading into the game. He's been a great asset. I was actually expecting more from Ray Thornton, if I had to pick one player on the defense that I thought would kind of really, really step up and surprise. And on the offense, I might say Keelan Robinson, the other transfer from Alabama. I think he's gotten more production than I thought he would get. I thought it would be, Bijan getting 20 to 25 touches a game, which he's still kind of averaging around that, and then Roshan, kind of cleaning up most of the rest, and then maybe Keelan Robinson getting, just a few chances, whether it's running or even lining up at receiver. But he's had more production just directly out of the backfield than I thought he would get. So that's been really cool to see. And his speed is no doubt. What else on defense? Yeah, we mentioned Byron Murphy. Prince Dorba got in the game. Had a couple of shared tackles. Alfred Collins got in the game. Had 1 tackle. We saw Darian Dunn again. Darian Dunn's already made an impact, causing a fumble against Louisiana. He's no doubt a physical corner. Keelan Robinson with the block punt, but we saw his speed again, getting there, cutting that left side edge, and then blocking it. So his speed was on display two significant times. In that touchdown run where he just absolutely turned on a 5th gear and just left 3 defenders that kind of had position on him to make the tackle, but he just left them. Texas allows, let's see. Yeah, that was another point I was going to make about the defense. Rice had pretty much 3 different quarterbacks at times, but Constantine had 12 completions out of 15 attempts, which isn't bad, but only 80 yards. So, obviously there's, kind of pointless to sit here and look at putting out a shutout against Rice, but it's, like I said, it's a well-timed game, and again, it's another game to get used to the coordinators, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, the third ones in 3 years, but definitely a good time to get this before heading into conference play Saturday against the TTs. We've got 11 o'clock games now set against Tech, and then we go to Fort Worth to play the Horny Frogs, and then to Dallas for the Land Thieves. So 3 straight 11 o'clock games. Texas beating Arkansas. That game, the Oklahoma game, I think definitely would have been at 2:30. All right, let's go through a few key plays here. This was the play super early on when Bijan started right and then cut it back to the left and threw an awesome stiff arm. So Rice has got a 3-man front there. The linebackers pretty much instantly react. Maybe they over pursue a little bit, but you can tell the offensive line is blocking, kind of a little zone blocking down the right. But Bijan kind of immediately cuts it back left. Stiff arm. Get off. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that before from him. We've seen speed, elusiveness, the strength. So pretty rare package. This one, I believe. Oh yeah, this was Xavier Worthy's awesome 4th down catch and run. Breaks about 3 tackles there. He was lined up at the slot. Let's see if I can go back to the formation. Yeah, he's lined up here. Cade Brewer is actually out wide, which was pretty interesting. This looks like it was specifically designed for Worthy. Casey definitely is looking down the middle of the field the whole time. Right when Worthy makes his break, Casey's winding up in his throw. I actually was a little more impressed by this play than Worthy's corner touchdown catch. Wish we could see a little bit more of the middle of the field there. Oh, yeah, this was Casey Thompson's interception. I forgot how I cut this. Obviously, he throws the interception, but he does get hit as he's throwing it. So we've got one lineman pulling. It looks like he meant to likely kick the end guy out, but these defenders come in a little bit more, almost a hold there. Who is that? Is that Jones? But what's that? Kirksetter comes out. So I believe that was a linebacker that got through. Casey's obviously sees Worthy wide open, which absolutely could have been a touchdown, but it falls right into the hands of the defender right there. So yeah, obviously you're going to lose a lot of power. Maybe Casey could have sidestepped that a bit to the left and just given himself a bit more time. It looked like Worthy did have enough space there, to offer at least half a second to where Casey could have sidestepped that, but at least it wasn't like a horrific, horrific decision or a horrible throw. All right, this was Roshan's 70-yard touchdown. He had over 100 yards on just 3 carries. And like I said earlier, that's what really stood out to me was the production from three Texas running backs. So yeah, you're not going to bring him down like that. He's too big. And then he just races down the sidelines, beats the remaining defender. But it was awesome to see him get that production. All right, this is the block kick, and this is Keelan Robinson. He also broke off a long touchdown run, but then you see a speed here coming off of that left side. Bam, blocked it. Yeah, that dude's fast. And he runs hard, too, for a guy his size. But that's cool to see, just him making plays, all over the field. This was a great 3rd down conversion. 3rd and 17, nearing halftime. Yeah, great pass there. You don't want to see a lot of 3rd down conversions. You want to see a lot of first downs coming pretty quickly, but great shot there, hitting Dixon. All right, I believe this is Bijan's long touchdown run. So from the Texas 39, yeah, pretty much wide open there, and he really only has one guy to beat. He runs past these guys pretty fast before they even could turn around. He turns that guy around. Really smart running there. Some of the best running backs of all time, what they were good at is just completely manipulating the defender, by just cutting it in, making them turn their hips, and it really buys the running back space and time. Marshall Faulk was phenomenal at that. Reggie Bush was actually really good at that, Bijan's favorite player, of just using his skills to manipulate one-on-one defenders. Yeah, this was the corner end zone throw, touchdown to Worthy. Great job by Casey there, placing the ball, and Worthy getting his body around to catch it on the outside shoulder, because you can tell right here, Worthy obviously sees where it's coming. I don't know if this is just a read to say, okay, if the defender is inside, then the ball's going to go to the outside shoulder. Obviously, had this defender maybe been more over here toward the inside, Worthy likely would have cut it down in between. But just turns around, great awareness of where he is on the field, great corner of the end zone shot. And, Worthy ended up being the number one leading receiver in this game. Looking at this offense now, I kind of think we might see a different leading receiver each game. Jordan Whittington was amazing in week 1, and then in this game he had, I think, 1 catch for 7 yards. Doesn't mean that he was bad. Doesn't mean that, he wasn't getting open, but maybe that's just by design. And maybe next week it'll be Josh Moore, who's been kind of MIA for really 3 weeks. Yeah, this is Keelan Robinson's touchdown. Squeezes in a slight open hole here as the linemen are getting to the second level to wall off linebackers, and then he just absolutely turns on another gear right here. Phew. Yeah, he's got another gear. Bijan's fast. Shark Jameson is fast, but this guy's got a 5th gear. I would love to see a foot race between Bijan, Keelan Robinson, Shark Jameson, and Xavier Worthy. Whew, right there. That foot race would be a great to see to see the separation in a 40-yard dash. Oh, here's Jonathan Brooks' touchdown. He turns it straight up. Good open hole. That was cool to see him get a touchdown too. Four different running backs getting touchdowns. It was awesome. True freshman. That kid's got tremendous balance. His balance reminds me of Jamal Charles. So, drop your comments below. Let me know what you thought about some of the standout guys, some of the performances. It was cool to see a lot of the younger guys, Jonathan Brooks, Byron Murphy, DJ Harris. It was just cool to see them get in there and make some plays, because you never know. You might need them down the road. It's cool to see Jared Wiley in there. A lot of people think that he should be the starting tight end over Brewer, but I think Brewer brings more to the game in blocking than I think fans realize, just in terms of the importance of that. But those are my thoughts, guys, real quick on Rice. Didn't want to spend a lot of time talking about the Rice game, but let me know your thoughts. What are you expecting for Big 12 play? What's your prediction for Tech? The Tech running game worries me a little bit more this year, especially kind of what we've seen a few times. What the Texas defense allowed against Arkansas, and some plays against Louisiana too. So, all right, see you next time, guys. Hook 'em.